this is how we're gonna do it. All right, how's everybody doing? Welcome to After Hours with Mo, Late Night with Mo, right here, man. We over here, and guess who I got back here on YouTube? Guess who I got back here? We got Jennifer Rogers in the house.
Good evening, good morning, whichever it is. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Jen? What's been on
Oh.
your mind? I mean, what's been on your mind, really? What the hell been on your mind?
Oh my goodness. Well, I guess I could start at the recent and work our way back. Football, football, football. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The big bread and circus spectacle was tonight. I didn't watch it because I don't do the only football that matters to me right here. Bam, son.
There you go.
Oh, hold up.
Represent, baby.
Oh my God. Woo! Longhorns for life. Oh yes. I do like my college ball. They at least play with some pride still.
Thank you. They play with pride. Pride. These people, they play for money. They play for popularity. They're a bunch of fame whores.
Oh. I mean, the college boys, they are playing with that eye on the money. You know, they got one eye in their zone and one eye looking over to the ones drafting them, but school pride, which is good. You know, it's all good. So I like watching college ball. I haven't watched an NFL game in 3 or 4, maybe 5 years now. It's been a long time. I just don't watch it no more.
Oh, it was before the boycott. Then it was before the kneel. It was
I
way.
was losing interest in it before this whole kneeling thing came about. I mean, I was just, I don't know. It was losing its appeal to me. And then the kneeling thing came along, and I'm like, oh my goodness, okay. Whatever blows you rich fella's hair back, I guess.
Right.
So, I watch baseball when it's in the postseason. That's still my exciting time of year. I love baseball, and I will watch college ball, definitely. So, I still enjoy my sports.
Yeah. It just gotta, man.
Hey, you want a sport that's exciting, man? Watch some rugby. Them dudes are brutal. It's like a mixture of soccer and football. There's no pads, there's no protective gear. There's just a big bunch of men out there beating the crap out of each other over a gigantic football looking thing that they don't throw forward, they only throw sideways as they're running forward. It's kind of like a game of lateral passes from what it looks like. But I give them props because they'll go crazy on each other and beat the mess out of each other.
Yeah.
It is brutal.
It is.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Man. It's good to have some fun, to watch something that's fun to watch.
Something that, I mean, I don't want to be too distracted all the time, but something just to kind of ease the tension every now and then. I'm all for. But American football today is like Rome's equivalent of the Colosseum. It's the bread and circuses that keeps them distracted. If they're distracted, they won't question, they won't revolt.
Yep.
That's a pretty decent design.
Mm-hmm.
Been working. There are a lot of people I know on Facebook who weren't watching. They're like, I'm not watching. And some of them kind of said, they caught a few highlights. And I glanced on ESPN just to see what the final score was. And wow, talk about just a crappy 13-3, really?
Man,
for the longest, it was 3-0, and then it was 3-3. I'm like, don't tell me this game is going to be a 3-0.
The most boring Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life.
From what I read in the article, because when it was over, I wanted to read ESPN's follow up, and I'm like, it was. I think they hold the record. That was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history. But that tells you their defenses, I guess, were on their game.
Yes.
Because apparently they were scrapping it on the defense.
Right.
And it came down to a field goal and a touchdown. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, that recent fun. I've been on somewhat extended vacation from my job. They had a little temporary shutdown. So I go back to work on Tuesday.
Temporary shutdown? It was just a strike or something, or?
Well, it was a log shortage due to all the rain we've gotten, semi-recently. It slows the log trucks down. If they can't deliver, we can't work.
Yeah.
It's like the first time in 15 years they've done that. So hopefully it's not going to be a routine.
Hey, got some questions for you.
Oh yeah.
I got some questions for you, for real.
Ooh.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure which one I'm gonna give it to you, Jennifer. Okay, dig this here. Okay. Did you think the shutdown was a good idea? The government shutdown that Trump did was a good idea? Honest opinion. Honest opinion.
The shutdown that wasn't a shutdown? Oh, it was a great show. Okay. That's all it was, Mo. I mean, that was like a staring contest between two kids from the neighborhood, and to see who blinks first. Nothing shut down, you know, the tax collecty parts and
right. Nothing shut down.
Parts.
Yes.
The still pushing for law parts. I mean, nothing really shut down. It was just a show.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty long staring contest, but unfortunately Trump blinked first. He did. He gave it to him and opened it back up, and then what was it? Pelosi said, "No, we're not giving them any wall money." You knew she was going to say that.
Yeah. Right.
We all knew
it. Hey, someone a conservative.
I don't know what kind of game he's playing, honestly.
I said about 4 days ago. It's a conservative got mad when I said this. I said, you know what? No, I love our president, but I think he'd be a dumbass sometimes. That's what I said.
He does things that.
But he could be a dumbass sometimes. Let's tell the truth.
90% of his time, he's handling the game they're playing. You know, he's going with it, and then on occasion he'll just do or say something that makes me go, "Oh my God." Did you? Right. The worst of all of it so far was his comment toward guns made. What was it? Late last year or earlier last year. Yeah. He said confiscation first, due process later. That is dangerous talk. I mean, if you watched the video and you looked over at Dianne Feinstein, she was ready to jump him off one as he was saying that. She was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
You don't say that, no matter what kind of deal you're
right. Right.
You don't say those words. And now there's red flag laws blowing up everywhere.
Yep.
I find it ironic and disturbing. I mean, I don't care what kind of deal you're trying to make or what game you're trying to play with the left or the right or the what. You don't say words like that if you're smart. I mean, like I said, on occasion he'll say something. You'll go, "Huh?
Yeah.
You how did you get to be a billionaire? How? What are you doing? You know, it's enough to drive you to want to drink at times." I'm like, I got this beverage, and hearing him say that, I'm like,
this is how we do it.
And then we had the shutdown that wasn't a shutdown, but it was an impressive show, boy.
Yes.
That was a good staring contest, but then he goes and blinks.
Yeah.
He goes,
like, come on now, dude.
Government. I'm like, why? Well, okay, aside from some parks that are getting a little bit of litter, you know, because people aren't cleaning up, I mean, what do they need to be open for?
Right.
I don't see it showed that we really don't need DC.
No, we don't. It's a show in DC, right?
Yeah, there were people at these parks that were going out volunteering and picking up litter, and law enforcement was actually stopping them, telling them to stop. I'm like, why? They're wanting to pitch in and clean up. What's the problem? They can't stand. The government cannot stand a people willing to take care of themselves and each other. That was proven by that GoFundMe for the wall thing.
Yeah.
That Republican congressman said he didn't like people governing their own wallets.
Okay.
That let the cat out the bag. And now
the bag.
Shut down. They were like, "Oh, we don't want you picking up this garbage. We don't want you." We have people, but they're laid off. Americans are like, we can do it.
Yes.
We're proving that we don't need that little district where those, few hundred tyrants reside and dictate our lives. We don't need them. And it's making them nervous. I don't know if that was why Trump blinked or what, but yeah. it's being proven finally after a couple centuries that we don't need them. We don't. Maybe as a beginning, burgeoning nation, we needed something for a little guidance, but we had that with the Articles of Confederation. We had that. It was to give them a setup, but to let us remain free in our sovereign states. And then the Federalist boys are like, no, that's just not enough for us. Let's just get rid of that, and we're going to squeak this Constitution up in there, and everything since has been aftermath.
Yes.
And I'm reading a book right now that a very good friend recommended, my mentor recommended. If you want to buy a book, man, there it is. That will blow your barn doors off, Mo.
Hologram of Liberty?
Yeah.
The Constitution alliance with big government.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. It in a nutshell explains that Constitution was what gave them the control from the word go. It gave them the reins to keep us tethered.
Okay.
Not the other way around. It did not give us any checks on the government. It gave them reign on us. And, I mean, if you look at where we are now from that moment, everything has led to now. There's really no other way to see it. I mean, it's amazing. But it says on the first lines, there's two beliefs, pretty much, that the most of Americans have. The first belief is that Congress was given few specific powers. This is what the Constitution and people who support it claim. All else was left to the states and to the people. That would make sense. Ample checks and balances to protect the republic from federal tyranny.
Okay.
So here's belief number 2, and this is what's happened. The federal government has become so powerful only because officials have overstepped their strict bounds. If number 1 is true, then how did number 2 happen?
Okay.
Because number 1 was the design, but number 2 was the linchpin. The men who crafted this Constitution were the ones that wanted the control. They crafted that document to be weak yet unchallengeable. And that's what it's been. I mean, people say that's what declares our rights, but it's not. My rights aren't declared by a piece of paper. Yours aren't. We know what our rights are. We don't need a piece of paper to say it. But people have been taught to hide behind that document and prop it up and say that that's the supreme law of the land.
Right.
No. Nope. There's only one supreme law of the land, brother, and it comes from up above.
Yes, right.
Not from that.
The law of the land.
The problem with the Constitution's creation was that it took the sovereignty from the Lord Almighty and it put it in the hands of roughly 55 men in a little convention hall 240 some odd years ago. And I mean, people have been, afraid by what I say like that. It's the truth. There's what other way is there to see it where we are now? Yes. I mean, I would say we need to go back to 1776 and do a reboot. Reboot the whole thing. I mean, we have the right and duty to do that.
But they're so used to this new technology, so they don't want to reboot.
Well, that's the problem. This government created has gotten beyond anything I think we could possibly challenge. Because they've done what they've relied on, and that is to convince an entire nation of people that they're the way. Through that little piece of paper. They're the way. It's the most stunning coup d'etat in history. And it's us.
Us.
Yeah, I'm blowing you up. I should be letting you chit chat.
No. I want you to talk. Look. Last time you was here on my YouTube channel, there's like, I love this woman. It's like, bring her back on here. I said, she'll be back on here. Michelle Rogers. It was like, it was people in my job. They was watching, like, oh, I like Michelle Rogers. Bring her back on here. So, hey, you back on here. So, you ain't no stranger on here. So, go ahead. Take it away. Say what you need to say.
might sound a little windy. It's a little breezy tonight, and it feels like spring, and it shouldn't. My God. It should be cold right now. I just wear this beanie out of habit, but it feels like March right now. This is ridiculous. Y'all got that polar vortex going on up there, and it's feeling like we're getting into April right now. I mean, I'm like, daggum. The South is unpredictable, if nothing else. But as far as where we are, and Jesus, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face or until we collapse. We need unity. True unity. Until that happens, we'll keep going where we're going. It doesn't matter what person we've got in the White House. It doesn't matter.
We too divided. Damn it.
That was by design, buddy.
Man.
Divide and conquer. That's what they operate on. If they keep the people distracted, divided, at odds, fighting, hating each other, then we're not paying attention to what's going on.
It's too much fighting in the patriot movement too.
It's inside and out, man. I'm telling you, it's
inside and out.
What they want.
I'm tired of it. Like
you and me both.
You know, it's to a point. Oh, this person is this. Like, what? I don't care what he said in the video. He did this or shit. I don't care no more. Whatever. I say crazy stuff too. I will cuss everybody out. I cuss the chat room out. They know that chat room. When I cuss y'all out too, I cuss everybody out. Anybody, you can be cool to me. You can be the coolest person with me. And I'll cuss you out too. But it ain't personal.
Government does not want unity. If we get unity, we become their largest enemy, and they become defeated, and that's what they've been solidified to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done it through the Constitution. Sad to say, they designed it that way.
Speak on it.
Like I said, it wasn't designed to give us any liberty at all. They designed it and convened secretly to create it, and then had it ratified so quick the people had no time to react. There were some anti-federalists who were dead set against it, but there weren't enough of them to challenge. Unfortunately. Like I said before, the fates of over 300 million people in this country right now were decided by 55 men.
Spit it, Jen.
55 men. Behind locked doors, behind covered windows, and they were sworn to secrecy. They weren't to talk about it for another 50 years, pretty much the rest of their lives. And if it's of the people, by the people, for the people, then why was it kept secret? Why weren't people allowed to know what was going on in that convention? Because if the people knew what was being created under their noses, the revolution that had just ended would have been re-sparked, and those muskets would have been brought right back out and turn on those men creating that crap. I hate to call the Constitution crap because so many people damn near worship it. That's the scary part.
Okay.
They worship it almost as much, if not more, than they would worship the Lord, and there's your problem.
Ooh, they worship it. Mm-hmm.
The government becomes the almighty altar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Worship God, not government. That's what Trump said. Remember, a year and a half ago. He said, worship
the man
God.
kills me. He says brilliant things and then crazy things and then brilliant things again. I'm like, dude, you're killing me with this back and forth. You got to stop.
But he was sent here, though, for a reason, though. He was sent here and he was ordained.
He was, I believe, like I said, I believe he was sent here to, oh my goodness, to be like a break for us, a breather.
Yes.
I don't believe he can change anything majorly significant.
He's not going to change
time.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough time in a presidential term to do it.
The one world government eventually going to come. It's not going to be stopped.
Oh yeah. Well, the war between the people and the government, I hate to say I pray it comes, but there's not much of avoiding it anymore. It depends on who's going to set it off when. What's going to be that shot? You know, the revolution, it was a shot at Lexington Green, and a shot heard around the world when the British said, turn over your weapons, and the Americans said,
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to that point again. Only there's going to be even more Americans going, Mm-hmm. But the government this go-around has access to a military and weapons system that is pretty stacked. And there again is proof that the Constitution was a designed failure of the people. If the Second Amendment guaranteed us the right to bear arms, then we should have the same weaponry as our government has, as our military has, as our police forces have. But we don't, because the government designed it to be worked in their favor. And that's why they out-weapon us. We have a shit ton of guns, buddy. Woo, do we love our guns. The state I'm in, Arkansas, is the second most armed state in the country. I forget who's number one. But we're number two. Because we love our guns. I own several of them. And they're mine. Let someone try to come red flag me. I may die, but I'm going to go down in a hail of brass and lead. Much like what happened to that poor guy in Maryland. They did the red flag thing on him. Cops come to took his guns. He said no. They killed him. Killed him. Something's very wrong in this country. Horrifically wrong in this country. But our Second Amendment is supposed to protect us. It's not. Not when they keep infringing. When it says shall not be infringed, but infringements happen all the time, then, the system ain't working. Because it wasn't designed to work for us.
Right. It wasn't designed.
That's the kicker of it all. If it can be amended, then it can be repealed.
Yes.
Our rights are never meant to be amended. They are our rights. They are inherent. The government didn't see it that way. They created a paper system that would give them the opportunity, whenever they wanted, whenever they deemed necessary, to put it on us. And they infringe the Second Amendment all the time because it's theirs. We don't have automatic weapons, brother. We can't have guns that go brrrr, but they can. Though they sure can.
This is a smart woman right here. I tell you, I like the way she think.
It's history, man. It's facts. Our forefathers, the anti-federalists, the ones that weren't for centralized government, even they said that this country should not have a standing army, a.k.a. the military force we have right now.
Yeah.
Or the police forces we have right now. That was the one thing they feared because they knew it had the potential to be turned on the people. And it has in the past. All you have to do to figure out, and you don't even have to go back to the Civil War, but that's one great example. You can go even more recent. Google Japanese internment camps 1942. And you will find out what this government and its military are willing to do to Americans. Because that's what they did. Japanese Americans.
Japanese American. And what year again? Repeat that.
1942.
42.
They rounded up FDR, Franklin Roosevelt. He ordered the roundup of roughly 120,000 Japanese Americans. Many of them were third generation born in this country. He ordered them round up and placed into internment camps on American soil.
Okay.
The United States military did this. The United States Census Bureau assisted. The Census Bureau, that thing that counts the population every 10 years. You want to know why they want to know how many rooms are in your house? How many people are living with you? Because that gives the government more information when they want to come round you up. And that's what the Census Bureau has assisted with. And those people were rounded up and put in those camps for at least 6 years. No due process. No process in courts. Nothing. They were rounded up and put in. No questions asked. On our own soil.
On our own?
Yep. Right here in America. Because of what happened at Pearl Harbor, the government decided that some of these Japanese Americans on the West Coast might be dangerous, and we might need to round them up just in case. It's happened. It can be done. And that was back in the 40s. Think it can't be done in this day and age?
Right. Ain't nothing under the sun, yo.
It's insane, but the military's never done stuff like that in America. It's called research. A president ordered it. A military complied and enforced it on its own people. So folks say, the military wouldn't turn on us if we decided to go revolution. You better think again. I have talked with some people who were military, and they strongly believe a vast majority would not turn on the people. I would hope that's the case. I would hope they would side with the people and say, hey, maybe you guys are the domestic enemy. You know?
Ooh.
They vowed to protect America against foreign and domestic enemies.
Enemy.
I would hope that they would side with the people.
Yep. But they don't want to side with the people.
Now, the police forces, ooh, that's a tricky one. And at times I always think that maybe the military would be tricky because it comes down to the matter of orders. Orders versus morals. The best example of that recently would be Charlottesville 2 years ago.
Yep.
When the police force, via the city council, via the mayor, were ordered to stand down. They did not go with their moral gut and say, we need to stop this craziness before it pops off. No, they followed orders.
Mm-hmm.
And I got coyotes running around here. Ooh, go away.
You're in the country right here. She's a country chick.
Oh, yeah, I'm out here in the got coyotes yapping and running around. Yeah.
She'll take one of them coyotes and make them a steak.
Oh, my goodness. It's orders versus morals, Mo. That's what it'll boil down to if this country ever kicks off into something major. If I were a cop at Charlottesville, I probably would have been fired that day because I would have gone with my morals and I would have tried to stop things.
Yes.
I would have lost my job. But I would have done what was right. I would have tried to stop all that was going on.
Yes.
Although the person trying would have been crazy, but I would have tried.
Hey, you know what I did like 2 weeks ago? I was in Madison, Wisconsin at a rally. It was hundreds of protesters came there. It was Antifas, right?
Mm-hmm.
They was like, hey, they was assaulting me and all that. But look, I didn't fall for their bullshit. I didn't hit them or nothing, so I walked away from it. I let them bump me. So because I was trying to film it, see how violent he is, let everybody know it, right? So toward the end, Antifa, I said, do you hate me? I hate you. They said, I hate you. The one Antifa, do you hate me? She like said, I don't hate you. I said, you don't hate me? So come give me a hug. She came and gave me a hug, Antifa, and she was really nice. A young, I think she's about 18, 17. I don't know. She was a young lady, and I gave her a hug. I said, you know what? Now you're my favorite Antifa. Come here, give me another hug. All right, look, I'm cool with an Antifa. And then there was some Trump supporters got mad at me and said, oh, boom, they're the devil. They're just shut up. They're kids.
Yeah, you must have caught one that got into it early, because some of them seasoned ones, they're going to hate no matter what you say or do. Doesn't matter to them.
For real?
That's, Oh,
okay.
Antifa's not going away.
What else said she ain't an Antifa? She just here. No, I like her. She was all cool. I hug her. Come here. Feel free to got an email. You want to come on my show? You can. Let's talk, okay?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Antifa's not going away anytime soon.
Okay.
They've gathered
one of the Antifa. That probably really
They've gathered enough steam in their movement and enough of these crazy people to just keep it rolling. They're not going to stop. And then with the stuff in Georgia, did you see any of that? Oh, good Lord. So yeah, as always, people are protesting at Stone Mountain, wanting it blasted off the side of the rock, as they've been wanting for years.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, some white nationalist group was going to come up and demonstrate. I don't know if they were really white nationalists or not. Don't know. But apparently they called their side of the event off due to safety concerns. They got worried. Don't know what for.
Right.
The cops allow Antifa to gather armed and march anyway.
What the hell?
Oh, they were armed. They had that outside line protecting their ranks, armed with rifles of all sorts. Let the commies just march on through and do their thing. Wow, son. Wow. I mean, you can take that First Amendment route and say, oh, but they got the right to do it. Yeah, I guess they do, but it's certainly not showing that what they stand for shouldn't be accepted. I mean, I don't accept communism. I never will.
Hell no!
You're not going to make me accept communism. I'll die before it ever happens.
Hell no.
So, I mean, whoever was on the other side to demonstrate, you don't know who it was or could have been, but the worst thing you could have done was to back down from it. I mean,
what's going on, Jovi?
Just let them have it. It's retarded.
I'm just checking the chat. I ain't been looking at the chat.
Oh, you're good. It's just getting crazy. It is, and I've encountered Antifa personally. They're not a pleasant bunch. They're really not.
Okay, so man, I didn't really think a lot because the Antifa that I was asking her, she came in late. She was all cool. She had no mask on. She was just like, yeah. She didn't know. I'm like, dang, who was you?
Yeah, a lot of them younger ones are just like they're like bandwagoners, man. They're jumping because it looks cool. They want to be a part of something. Because at 18 years old in this day and age, you're not a part of anything. What are you a part of? You're a millennial. You're considered just a know-nothing blob of crap. So what you gonna do? You're gonna latch on to the first thing that says, "Hey, you know, you can be something. Join us. Anarchy. Blah 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 blah. Let's just, you know, down with the USA." And they're not listening to the message. They're just jumping on it for the notoriety. Some of them are not. Some of them are hardcore dedicated to what they're trying to bring about.
Yeah.
And they're being militarily trained, you know, by people who were ex-military or maybe even current military. It's disturbing. And when I was in Austin a couple years ago, yeah, they were armed. There were several of them armed with AKs. AK-47s. We couldn't even have a stick in our hands. The cops wouldn't let us have anything to defend ourselves.
Damn. Are you serious?
I had a hard plastic shield that I had and a little stick with a tiny flag on it that they fortunately didn't see. And I kept it in the handguard in case I needed to use it. But they didn't want us to have much of anything to defend ourselves with, but those kids were allowed to walk around with rifles. Because it's Texas, you can open carry rifles. But for some reason, we couldn't have much of anything. So yeah, it was disturbing. I did not like the fact that these kids had rifles and I had a plastic shield. But I did what I had to do. And when it came to a good clash on the sidewalk, I parted some of those bitches like the Red Sea.
You did that?
Oh, there was a line of us, shield pushing a line of them. Two of them said, "You're not walking on our fucking sidewalk." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, watch." Boom. Shoved right past them and parted them. Don't tell me where I'm walking, honey. I'll show you where I'm walking.
Yeah.
Dog, come here. Hush, dog.
I can show you better than I can tell you.
Oh, man, It was craziness.
Hey, go ahead and take it away for like 1 minute. I gotta take a break for like 59 seconds.
All right.
Go ahead. Everybody know what I gotta do.
Oh yeah, ain't no shame in the game. When you gotta go, you gotta go. No, showing no signs of stopping. That's for sure. Gathering steam. Yeah, I figured I'd be up anyway, so the door was unlocked. Oh yeah, I'll be up late one more night, and then tomorrow night I gotta get myself to sleep. Yep, indeed. Oh, puppy. Oh my goodness. Hating on Mr. Mo.
Mo Reach Delk is back. Oh man. Sometimes paying the water bill can be better than sex. Sometimes it's like a relief. You like, oh, now I can get back to my business now.
Thank God. Yep.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. It be feeling good when you get a relief on you. It's like a person get an orgasm, they feel good, but when you got to taking a piss, you feel good. No, but let's be honest. This, after I talk, that's how we talk. I talk real on my channel, y'all. Next.
Oh, to me, it's a miracle getting to the bathroom in time. I'm like,
yes.
Thank God. Thank God I made it.
You made it.
Have them moments of fear. I'm like, oh God, am I going to make it there? I'm going to make it there. Doing that speed walk out of panic. And then I get there. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Yeah.
All's right with the world.
Hey, I remember them days. Look, I would drive a long road trip. Seriously, this is real talk, y'all. I would be driving. Oh my God, I gotta pull over for a real second. I go, look, I have me a 7-Up bottle somewhere. Seriously, it's good to be a dude sometimes because dudes can do whatever they want to do.
Oh yeah, y'all are lucky. You know, y'all don't even have to stop. Just find a bottle or a cup and you're good to go. We make
Right.
a mess if we try that. We got to pull over and pray we can find somewhere secluded.
Yeah.
And who wants to squat out in the woods?
Right. Spot. It's just like us taking a shit.
Ooh, I don't want to be out there in the woods with God knows what out there with me, but sometimes you just have to because you can't wait for that next exit 3 miles down the road. You're like, I'm not gonna make it.
Thick skin on me, y'all.
It's that battle, boy. Can I make it? Nope, can't do it. That was one of my jobs years ago, working with the highway department. I was a flagger, and they didn't carry porta potties with them. If you had to go, you better trot off in the woods and find you a spot. And kind of sketchy. I'm like, man, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Can someone see me? Okay, hopefully not. Here we go. You know.
Lori said the key in the door almost inside. Come on now. I had episodes with the key in the door. Look, I never had no problem getting that key to the door in the dark. All of a sudden, I'm in the dark coming in. I can't find the key. Like, oh, dancing. You more to the doorknob. You dancing. And then you running. So you walked in, you don't piss on yourself.
Oh,
right
no.
before you get to the bathroom.
It's like the closer you get to the bathroom, the more that bladder wants to let go. And you're like, wait a minute, we're almost there. Just hold on.
That's a setup. Because I've done that. Like, oh, shoot. So look, kind of throw it right in the laundry. Right? I did it.
It's even worse if you got a kid in that situation. You're like, come on, hold on for just a minute. We're almost there. I'm about to.
Yeah.
Like, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
No, this is real talk.
I've had enough auntie duty with nephews and nieces to, that emergency run to the bathroom. Like, hold it.
Yeah.
I can't hold it. One nephew said, I'm prairie dog. And I'm like, oh, did you just really have to say that, boy? Get in here. Come on.
Yeah.
They're entertaining for sure.
Thick skin only, y'all. Thick skin only.
Oh, I'm telling you. And kids have the thickest skin of all, my God.
Oh!
No filter.
Oh! You can start first with this, because I got some stuff I'm going to say about this.
Well, I don't have kids myself. I've chosen not to bring children into this crazy-ass world. I can't do it. But I've got enough nephews and nieces to last me to doomsday. And I'm also a godmother, so I've got 2 god kids.
So you got babies?
I've done diaper duty on pretty much every single one of them, except maybe one. So I've got the mom thing down. I can do the diapers. I can do the chasing them around trying to put one back on them. Like, come here. So I know how it goes, and it's the best thing I love about kids is that they can detect dishonesty lightning fast. They are more perceptive than anyone gives them credit for. Right. They know what's up. When you're having a hard time, they know it. They may not know what it is, but they know something's wrong with you. Something's not right. And they know when you're lying, whether they say it or not. Yes. They know. I'm like, how did you know that? I just know. I'm like,
that's so wise.
How? Those little minds are so smart, and it's insane how it, in some cases it just gets lost as they get older. Some of them keep it.
I mean, my daughter always see me because I was married to my ex-wife for 14 years. I raised my daughter, right? My daughter used to look at me like, Daddy, what are you laughing at? Because I said that I think myself, I smile. And she says, I'm just laughing at myself, okay? I'm just laughing at myself because I think of some old stuff and I laugh. Then when I said, Daddy, you laughing at yourself again. You think about old stuff, aren't you? How you know about that? What the heck? Oh, Daddy, you laughing at yourself again. I'm like,
how do you know?
Oh, my God. You 4 years old, you saying that. No, 3 years old.
Mind readers, man. And they have absolutely no filter when they speak.
Yes.
Just boom out there. I'm like,
my daughter one time said, look at the fat lady, Dad. We was in the mall. Ooh. There's a big old fat chick. I mean, not to be offensive, not to be harsh, but she's big. Could hardly walk. All of a sudden, Daddy, look at the fat lady.
Oh.
The lady for the bell. She looked at me like I taught her. No, I didn't. Because I was doing my fat jokes and stuff. And she said, Daddy, the fat lady right there. I'm like, oh. I walked away. I started laughing. Like, I walked away.
What can you do? I mean, that's just one of the moments where you're, oh. Did you? Yeah, you did. Oh, you just did.
She said, Daddy, look at the fat lady.
Oh, I got one for you. It was, which one? I got so many nephews. We were going into a Chili's to eat one evening,
Oh,
Going at it from that front door into the little waiting area. And you know, we were in the restaurant, and my nephew just out of the blue looks at his mother and says, "Mama, what does sharded mean?" And we all just were like, "Boy, boy, what? Oh no!" Just out of the blue, because you know, why not ask that right there in a restaurant?
Yeah.
Boy, what the? Or a godson of mine who was falling asleep in church, you know, at the pew, like all kids do. I'd done it when I was a kid, starting to nod off. Mama reaches over and bops him on the arm. He wakes up. He's like, "What the hell, Mom? In a church?" I'm like, "Oh no."
Yes.
They're interesting. I love children, even though I don't have them. Good Lord, they're a source of entertainment.
Ain't they?
And just total intrigue, just from the way they are. I mean, they're not afraid to say things at the start. What comes in is how the parents, you know, show them how to be or what to be. That could go good or bad. But starting off, man, kids ain't scared.
So what you just said, right, is what I have studied, right? Faith as a little child. Faith as a little child. These childs have faith. That's why they don't have no filter. They have faith. They say what the hell they want to say.
Oh, yeah.
It's by faith. They walk by faith, but not by sight. Children walk by faith and not by sight.
That's why I always said, you know, the only thing more trusting than a dog is a small kid. And, you know, dogs are just unconditionally loving. They're unconditionally trusting. It's just, boom, I love you. Little kids are the same way before they're taught how to, you know, before they're taught to be given things to distract them. Or,
but don't God unconditionally love us?
Oh, God, absolutely.
Think of the faith as a child.
Yes.
Same thing.
So I say the kids are the same way before the parents really start molding them, either good or bad. Kids are just unconditional. They automatically trust. It's just like, I trust you. I trust you. You see little kids hugging mama's leg. That's that trust. I trust you.
Yes, the hugging the legs.
Hugging the leg, hugging an arm, doing whatever, hugging whatever they want to on mom and dad. They're like, I trust you. Dogs have that same approach. You know, they don't know what distrust is.
Yes.
They don't know. They just know love. It's what they do. Little kids are the same way. They know love. They know trust. Oh, mama, I love you. Not because, you know, you're giving them a bauble. They love them. That's just what and then they start growing up, and either they're taught the good things to keep trusting, or they're given things to distract them.
Right.
You know, like what's happening in this day and age.
Come on now, Jennifer.
Like I've said, a 2-year-old can operate an iPhone better than I could ever imagine. I was playing with rocks when I was 2.
Thank you. You play with rocks. You playing stickball, goddammit.
We got 2-year-olds that can swipe through an album and find you a picture from 3 weeks ago. Here you go. Like, how did you do that? What? Show me that again. And I watch, and they'll do it again. I'm like,
hey, I played with Barbie dolls as a kid, but the way I played with Barbie dolls, I had He-Man and Humping Barbie. You know what I'm talking about? We all know this today. Look, I had He-Man Humping Barbie like, hey.
See, I grew up a tomboy, so I always wanted to play with my brothers. Whatever they were getting into, I was wanting to get into. And sometimes
Barbie stole He-Man from She-Ra.
Sometimes they'd let me in. Sometimes they, go away. We're doing something. So I try to play with the younger sister, and she's like, I'm not sharing my Barbies with you. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. When she wasn't looking, I'd just snatch Barbie up and give Barbie a crew cut.
Yes.
Start giving her tattoos. And then for my brothers being mean to me, I'd run upstairs and grab their G.I. Joes and tear them apart and bury them in the backyard.
You're my kind of chick. What the hell?
I'd give them a proper funeral, Exclude me again.
Hey, man, you have been a teen growing up. I would love your girl.
Dude, I was the quiet ninja, man. If they were being mean to me, I'd get back at them quietly.
Good.
Wouldn't know it. I'd be sneaking.
On everything.
My sister would be like, why is my Barbie's hair gone? I don't know. Man, she got.
You was evil.
I'd take her little pink Barbie Corvette and take the wheels off, put it up on blocks.
You was a tomboy. You was a tomboy growing up.
Oh yeah, it ain't gone away. Good Lord.
Good. We need more tomboys on here. We don't need feminism. Yes,
Now, see, you can be girly without being a feminist, although that's fading away quickly, sad to say.
I'm tomboys are the real chicks. You heard? I tell you that. All my sisters are tomboys.
Well,
but they know how to get their
older brothers. That's almost a given. I mean, that's just what it is. You know, older brothers put me through the torture. Oh my goodness. But that toughen you up quick. You know.
Look, I just beat the shit out of my sister. I punched them in the arm a lot. You yellow heifer, boom.
Mm-hmm. I grew up with,
I'm beating her ass.
Knees as a kid, fall down, scrape a knee, instead of crying like a girl. My brothers would say, "Oh, get up and walk it off. You'll be okay."
Hey,
it'll stop.
But y'all won't look.
Like, okay.
My sister won't take no shit from no nigga.
No one should take anything like that from you. You made a comment once in one of your live feeds, and I commented on it. And one of your guests was talking about building walls up around everything, around all of it, around the country, around their home, around their women. And I commented because he made a good point. I was like, if you truly value your woman, you should build a wall up around her.
Yes.
Because she, if you value your woman, she's your castle. What do you do with your castle? You put a wall around that bad boy. You protect that bad boy.
I swear to God, you're real.
Because that's what you do. And it's the same for us women with the men. If you value your man, you put a wall around him. Trust each other, but you put that wall up. That's your protection. You look at a pair of wolves, a male and a female. Yes. You'll see a picture, and the female's under the male, and they think she's being submissive, but she's actually protecting him.
Come on!
She puts herself in the way of his throat so that enemy wolf can't get him.
Yes.
And the wolf standing over her, so the enemy wolf won't get to her. I mean, that's the roles. I mean, the feminists want to flip that script and say, oh, the women should be in charge and the men should be in the kitchen. I ain't all 1950s Leave It to Beaver, but, that's the way, that's God's way. The man is supposed to be the provider, the protector, and the woman, she has her children if that's what they want, and she provides for her husband. It's a team effort.
Be fruitful and multiply.
It's a team thing, and that's yet another thing the government has sought to destroy.
Y'all love her. Look, they love you over here.
Oh, thank y'all. Oh, don't make this old broad blush.
I fell in love with her a long time ago with her videos. I fell in love with the chick. She is freaking real.
Well, more people need to be real because we're being overtook by the unreal as we speak. All that's wrong is being made right, and that needs to stop now, like decades ago now.
Yeah. I need you more on my late night videos. I'm gonna talk to you. I need you more on here, man. We gotta change the game over here for real. Because I don't think they're ready for Jennifer Rogers. Jen Rogers. Y'all ain't ready for her.
I'm just one redneck in the South. That's all I am. But it's just the same core message. If the people don't start gathering together, we're never going to have a chance. Just like we don't have a chance right now because too many people are against each other and fighting internally, externally, going all crazy on it.
This is why Trump is not going to win in 2020 because of people like them. I'm just being honest.
It's a mixture. It's a mixture of him being too much for the system in what he does, how he does, and it's a mixture of the people divided because of a two-party system that is just broken, completely broken.
Stop it, Bob. I got drunk Bob on the chat room. Stop it, Bob. He said something about you, but I don't repeat that. He drunk. He be drunk all the time.
Okay. I mean, I've heard it all, dude. I've been working, I've been a woman working with men for almost 20 years. I've done so many different jobs working with majority men that I've pretty much heard it all.
He said this is a nasty bitch. That's what he just said.
Oh, a nasty bitch. Only to the commies, honey.
Yep. All right. Stop it, Bob.
Only to the commies in DC. I'll be nasty to both of them all day.
You lose, Bob. You lose this. He said, "F you, you drunk, dude. Stop."
Ooh, somebody's triggered.
Yeah.
Oh, trigger alert.
You know, I can put him on a live feed. I can put a link in and have him on live. The big. I ain't gonna do that.
I'm not no nasty biatch. No. I'm not one of them feminazis out there marching with the pink hat on my head, saying I want to blow up the White House. No.
Yeah.
Although, like I said, I wouldn't mind if DC did kind of get, blown off the map. I don't. We don't need.
Bob, sit your drunk ass down. You always get drunk and want to comment on here, dude. I ain't got time for it. Bob is just he a long white dude in the South got a long ass Santa Claus beard. Everybody's faking. Oh, everybody, you're fake patriot. You're fake shit. Oh, shut up, Bob.
Oh dear.
Bob cool. Bob just be drunk. I don't pay him no man. Hey, Tanya.
I'm sorry, Bob. God bless you.
You see what she said? She said, God bless you, Bob. Stop it, Bob.
Bless your heart, Bob.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Now, he just be talking crap at the end of the night.
A lot of people talk it in the night and the day, all day long, all night long.
Yeah. Hey, they love it. They're all happy. Like, hey, we got, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rod.
It ain't nothing new under the sun, I promise you.
Yeah.
But, as long as there's still that kind of hatred, that kind of vitriol, then they're getting what they want.
Hey, listen to everybody, y'all. Look, we got Jennifer Rogers over here. I swear I don't mess with no fake people right here. This chick is real, y'all. I'm telling y'all. And y'all know that. I don't want to mess with nobody fake.
Oh, man, you get one life. I hate to say YOLO, because that's just about as dumb as it sounds, but you do literally only get one life. You don't get a repeat. That's the amazing thing about it, is that you and I will never be here again. Ever.
Yep.
There will never be another one of us, another one of you or me
or
Bob or anyone else. That's it. This is it. This is your only run. You got a birth date and a death date, but that dash in the middle is what matters.
This is why I said this. You know what? Look, you can have this platform right now because you know what? People need to hear you. I've always said this. I said they ain't ready for you. They ain't ready for you any fucking way.
People need to gather, man. We need to get together. It needs to happen. Put aside.
You're a real chick. I got utmost respect for your ass.
And I have the utmost respect for you. Absolutely. It shouldn't be the paint job, man. It should be the engine. Always.
I dare motherfuckers say something bad about you. I'm being real.
People say bad things all the time about me.
I dare to come to me with the bullshit. I dare to come to me with the bullshit.
Here's the trick, man. In order for you to be offended, you have to first value their opinion. I ain't offended by nobody. Nope.
You're a real chick. Hey, that's a real chick right here, y'all. Real chick.
If you let it get under your skin, then.
Hey, Rita, send email if you want to join. You can join in the chat.
Come on in and join.
Look, I don't mind 5 people coming here and want to be talk. Come on, Rita. Just give me the green light. I'll get you on here.
Oh, yeah.
Rita, she's from Compton, California, outside LA. Ex-blood. That's what I'm not talking about. Send email. You can come on here right now. We have three people doing a video.
There you go.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been waiting for you. Like, damn, you got Jennifer. I was happy to get you on here.
Come on, dog. Let's go out.
No, people too lazy to go on YouTube. They're like, oh, I ain't going on YouTube. Let's just come on YouTube. You're good.
No, YouTube's still they're pretty censored, still pretty controlled, but it's nowhere near like Facebook. Facebook's become a total nightmare.
Yes, it has.
Nightmare. Oh my God.
Girl.
Any page or group or person that goes against Zuckerberg's grain is immediately put on chopping block, and you ain't there no more. Nope, you're out of here. And but that's the catch-22 though. People are mad about it, and they say, "Oh, but what about First Amendment rights?"
Right.
Here's the problem: when you click that user agreement, Facebook, when you click "I agree," you submit to Zuckerberg's game because it's his company.
Yes.
Privately owned. He can do it. For sadly, even though we got the right to free speech, when it comes to private companies, it don't apply.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. It really shouldn't be that way, but that's the way it is. And people get mad. And they're like, "Oh, but they're shutting us down." I'm like, you agreed to it.
Yeah.
You agreed to that potential of happening. I don't like it. I hate to see good group pages get shut down.
Yes.
Free Thought Project, man. Oh my God. Police the Police. Those are good pages because they keep our eyes open to things. They keep our minds open to alternative thoughts.
Yes.
Not strictly right, not strictly left. They think for yourself.
Yeah.
And of course, Facebook shuts them down. Alex Jones, people have their thoughts on him. He can seem a bit
Alex
out there.
Jones.
he can seem a bit out of the field, a little crazy sometimes, but he had a huge base and he was getting a lot of alternative thoughts out there to people. And socialist media did not like that. No. We can't have that.
You said socialist media, not social. You said socialist.
Yeah, socialist, because that's pretty much what it's become. And it's guided by the government, in my opinion, which is why they come up with these crazy stories. The smiling kid in D.C. They turned that so badly on those kids, and I witnessed the left and the right attacking those boys at first, going crazy with their rage. Oh, how dare he disrespect that Indian? But then the truth came out. And the left just kind of blew it off like, oh, whatever.
Come on now.
Right was eating some humble pie.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. Eating crow. Real fast. And when I first saw that, chopped up video, the one that just showed the kid smirking.
Yeah.
Even then I had my thoughts. I'm like, and I commented, I was like, well, who's in the wrong?
Yeah.
Is it the kid standing there smiling but being quiet? Or is it the Indian banging the tom-tom in his face?
Yeah.
Because if someone was banging a tom-tom in my 17-year-old face, I'd have slapped it right out of my personal zone, which is the distance in which I can throw a punch. You get into my personal zone, well, that's your own risk. So that kid had a lot more restraint at 17 than I would have. I know I'm taught to respect the elders, but you get up in my face, no, you're going to get out of my face real quick. Unless it's, unless it was a parent, then, well, there ain't much you can do about that. But it was amazing how the media spun it and had the right and the left going crazy on it. Boy, woo, mercy's sake. And they overlooked a certain group of people who were also there causing more insults and agitating the whole situation more than the Indian and his tom-tom, and that was the Black Israelites? Nobody wants to touch on that.
No, they don't. Come on now. Why don't you touch on it right now? Touch on it right now. Come on, girl.
Because both names, both words are very sensitive topics in this country that no one wants to touch.
For real.
And they combined the two for the ultimate, don't touch us. And the media pretty much left them alone.
Yeah.
That was insane because they were saying some of the nastiest things to those kids who weren't doing anything. They weren't doing nothing. They were waiting on a bus. But no one looked, cast an eye their way.
Right.
Can't go near that because, Black in Israel, can't go near it.
That's kind of fucked up.
I mean, I wouldn't have cared if it was the Mexican Israelites or the Asian Israelites. I wouldn't have cared what color their skin was.
Hey, I sent an invite, Rita.
To be saying those things to a bunch of kids, calling them incest babies and school shooters. I mean, saying all kinds of stuff to them. Nobody cared about that. They put the focus on the Indian who's been proven to be a paid leftist agitator. You know, he said he was a Vietnam veteran, but he was only a reservist, and he went AWOL 3 times. Never
There
stepped
you
foot
go.
in Vietnam. Crazy how
How
that
you guys
truth
doing
works out.
tonight?
Hello. Howdy.
Hey, how you doing? What's up, sis?
Helmet and a bike. Sweet. You're a bike rider?
I
Yes.
had my win. You know, I got my win tonight.
Of course, you're a Patriot fan. I get it. Congrats.
Man,
Man, I had to get my money. Got my money tonight. So.
I ain't a betting woman, but I don't even think I would have bet on that game because I didn't anticipate it going
Can you
like
guys
it
hear
went.
me?
Yeah, I
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
Jennifer Rogers. I want to introduce you to Rita.
Hello, Miss Rita.
Listen.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Jennifer from the
How
South.
you doing, sister? What's your name?
Jennifer. Jennifer Rogers.
She's a real chick. I love her.
Jennifer. Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Likewise.
You're gonna love her. She's real.
Oh, heck.
Yeah.
We all need to be real, otherwise what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, a few weeks ago.
Uh-oh, she cut out.
You cut out. Are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Hey, now.
Oh, that signal was bad. Nah, I'm still out money from everybody that owed me, that was hating on the Patriots. I'm gonna have to tell Mo to get his girl back on the phone call. He had this young lady on live with him, and she was clowning the Pat, so I had to get her back now.
Stop it, boo.
Stop it, Bob.
Stop it, Bob. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Bob's still at it. Come on, Bob.
No, you know about Bob too. Damn, I know about Bob. Hello, you know about Bob too. Stop it, Bob.
Come on, Bob. Where's the love, Bob?
Bob. Hey, you gonna like Jennifer. Jennifer is real. She's a real chick. I swear on anything.
She sound like
I
one.
just be me, and that's all I can be.
And she's a Confederate. She's damn. She know about the South, everything. You dick.
Almost. Speaking of which, I'm gonna do my best to be in Mississippi on the 22nd, 23rd, because they're having an event there in Oxford. I'm hoping to be able to make it. Talk to my job and see if they'll let me have those days, because they're having what could possibly be a pretty big event.
Okay.
I want to be there for it.
Yeah.
Because seeing what's going on, continuing going on, it's just madness. So even if they all come down in the South, which would break my heart, I'm going to be able to look back and say, at least I tried.
Yep, at least you tried. And that's it. At least you tried, girl.
And it comes down to history.
Right.
And if you try to remove that history, whether it's perceived as good or bad, you're tearing apart something that helped to define this country. And if, the truth of the South hopefully would come out is that it wasn't all over slavery. It wasn't all about racism, but it was written that way to demonize all who stood.
It's the globalists.
But that's the downfall of wars. To the victors go the spoil of the pen. They get to write how it went.
Yes.
Whether it went that way or not. I'm not going to say there weren't slaveholders in the mix. I know there were. I'm not going to say there weren't men who were fighting for slaveholders in the mix, because I'm sure there were. But it wasn't the root cause for the South splitting and saying we're done.
Yes.
That's the biggest lie ever told in history.
Right.
That wasn't the driving cause. They were forced to rewrite it that way to give the North credence for doing what they did. But I wouldn't advocate for tearing down any Northern monuments. The only Northern monument I have issue with is one in Seattle, but that's for a communist.
Because you've been real.
It's a communist statue in Seattle. Vladimir Lenin, the father of communism. And they got that there in Seattle. Now that one I have issue with, but other than that, I'm not going to ask for them to tear down Grant or Lincoln or even Sherman, who was a devil.
Tell the goddamn truth.
but they're there, they're there. You don't see the Jews over in Germany or Poland calling for Auschwitz to be bulldozed.
Yes.
They want it to remain to teach the people. I don't want to compare the Confederacy
Right.
to Auschwitz, but it's the same premise. Leave history as it is so we can learn from it. I wouldn't ever want anyone to tear down monuments anywhere else in America, and I would pray that people would come to stand with Southerners, but that hasn't been the case, sadly, because they're all afraid of the stigma. They're afraid of the stereotype. They're afraid of the label. To be called a racist or a white supremacist or whatever these people
For real.
call
you are 100% correct.
I know my ancestor did not fight for slavery. He was not a slave owner. Didn't own a single one. He rose to fight because an army was invading his land. That's what most Southerners, that's what most of them said. Hey, we're fighting because y'all came to us. We want to be left alone. That was all they wanted, was to be left alone. Yeah. They weren't left alone.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about, but something I just want to, what bugged me today, I just left everybody, they still partying. But what bugs me is this about, I'm kind of getting off subject with you guys, but this is something that's bothering me. Today, we already know everyone has something to say about the New England Patriots because Trump, of course, they don't have a problem with going to the White House. They don't have a problem with standing for the flag or anything. They never were that football team that had that problem. So everybody has something to say about this. And this is what gets me is now, today while I was at the party, I find out that Jay-Z had something to say to the rapper Travis.
He's a globalist.
I mean, what the hell? So what? I mean, this is what I'm getting at is just because I'm black and I'm the same color as a lot of other blacks, you don't run my damn life. You're not going to tell me who to vote for, why I shouldn't do this, why I can't talk to this person. And then you got Farrakhan. We talk about racism and talk about white people being racist, but what about Farrakhan? He's sitting there talking about he believes God wants black people to be in their own damn state. I don't want to be with a bunch of black people in no damn state.
Real talk going off. Oh my God, thank you, Miss Rita. It's the same on all sides.
I mean, I'm
for real.
And I just had excuse my language, I just had my drinks today. I haven't had a drink, but I was so pissed. I was like, fuck all y'all motherfuckers. Seriously.
Yeah.
I had to repent because I don't like that foolish.
You don't like this shit.
Me.
You did?
Nah. You ain't going to tell me who I can and can't talk to, and you don't even pay my damn bills.
Jay-Z.
Thank
Jay-Z
you.
can kiss ass.
It's the same thing. I mean, there's a rapper, a white rapper named Tom McDonald. One of his songs, he said, "We've got so much in common," and we do on so many levels. It's that everyone in every race is moving to divide their own race as much as they are moving to divide races against each other.
Yes.
It's the compounded chaos that just makes our government even happier.
Yes.
While we're busy fighting and killing and hating each other,
for real,
they're gonna keep on doing what they're doing.
Yes.
Exactly.
And keeping us tethered while they do it.
Come on now, girl.
The moment that white and black comes together is the moment they crap their pants in fear, because the last thing they want is for all the nation to turn to them and go, by the way, what y'all been doing? What are y'all doing? They don't want that. They want a nation full of obedient workers who do the work, pay the taxes, and keep accepting their crap. All day, every day. You, me, the kids, the grandkids, until it all collapses. That's what they want, to keep the machine moving. But to keep us just dumb enough and fighting against each other enough to keep it moving.
You dumbasses.
I mean, Christ himself said a house divided cannot stand.
Come on now.
He knew the score.
Speak on it, Bob.
He knew the score right then and there.
Speak on it.
See, I like Jennifer. I think she...
Oh, yeah. Jennifer is real.
I like y'all, man. If more people would just have these conversations and somewhere in the mix, pepper it with a bit of the Lord, This country could be a force that DC would not be able to overtake. I mean, we've got the numbers. We've got them outnumbered thousands to one. And yet we let a few hundred people in a little district dictate what we do.
Right.
And can't have.
Dictate that shit.
If that ain't enough, we've got our own people trying to tell us what we shouldn't do, say, and feel.
Exactly.
There's white people out there telling me I should feel guilty because I was born white, that I have some kind of privilege that I've honestly never known in my life. I ain't never known white privilege. Nuh-uh. I wouldn't say that to anybody of my race. Hey, you're white. Guess what? You got privilege. I don't know these people. How am I going to tell them what they have? How's anyone going to tell me what I have?
I swear, Jen, you one of my favorite white chicks.
It's happening with all races.
I fucking love you.
All races in this country are having this issue.
I fucking love your ass. You really, bitch.
So Jennifer,
yes,
Jennifer, you, and I'm gonna ask you and Mo this. You guys already heard the little dilemma with this dude from Empire.
That nigga, that fake nigga. Don't give me a nigga. That nigga.
I've read a bit into it. I've read a bit into it, and it's looking more and more like he may be caught up in a big fib. Yeah.
Can he get in trouble for that?
I'm going to arrest tonight, that nigga.
Can he get in trouble tonight? Can he get in trouble?
He's a fake nigga. He's an opportunist.
He could maybe file in a false report or something like that, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, what I've read, they've poured over hundreds and hundreds of hours of as much footage as they could find, and they ain't found nothing.
That fake nigga.
And then he want to use MAGA. They said the MAGA hats and MAGA.
He's an opportunist. That's some shit.
That's their symbol of rage right there. I mean, I don't own a MAGA hat. I've not worn one, but I wouldn't be afraid to wear one because my go-to verse of the Lord is Psalm 56:4. You know, in God I trust and I'm not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?
Exactly.
Yes.
What can they do to me?
I love Jen. I love Jennifer. I love her.
Never ever be afraid of what people
this is a real chick right here.
Do to you. You got the Lord in your heart. You're covered. You're good.
I love her.
As for these folks and their MAGA hat rage, oh my, it's not going to stop until he's gone. It's really not.
No, it's not. You already know that shit.
And people do need to start waking up out of that MAGA dream they're in and start planning for a country post-Trump. He's not going to be here forever. He's not going to be in that White House for long.
Yep.
And what's coming after him, that's what people need to start thinking about. I mean, the politicians are already campaigning right now, and we're just at the beginning of 2019. They're already campaigning. How many Democrats they got running and Republicans? I mean, they're already getting their game ramped up.
Right.
People need to plan for what's
coming. That's how they do this.
Like I said, a president can't do much in 8 years. I mean, they can do some things that could be good or bad, but there's no huge fix in an 8-year period. It's just not going to happen.
Everybody, follow Jennifer Rogers. The chick fucking real. No, I swear to God, she real.
That was another part of the Constitution that came in because of Roosevelt. Franklin, not Teddy. Because he was into his 4th straight term when he died. They decided to make an amendment saying a president can only have 2 terms. And it's double-edged because a president in, 20 years could do good or terrible bad. So now they've shortened the potential for any kind of fix by a president. That's provided a president would want to fix anything. Or if they're just going to keep playing the game.
She's a real chick. Listen, right?
I mean, I'll say it. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. The last president who ever took on the system, genuinely took it on to fight it, was Kennedy. He was the last one to try. And for what he did, it earned him a bullet in the head in Dallas. All presidents after him have not dared to take on the system. They won't do it because they see what happened to Kennedy. They're not going to do it. But Kennedy had, he had the gumption. He's like, we got to do something. So he tried his hand with the Federal Reserve, and that got him killed. And that's the truth of it. You can look it up. It's called Executive Order 11110. That order would have ended the Federal Reserve and put the power to making money back to the U.S. Treasury. When he signed that executive order into power, 6 months later, he was dead.
Mm.
He dared to try. And he
it's
paid the price for it.
It's almost like how they killed Lincoln, the Democrats.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got my feelings on Lincoln. Ooh. If people dug into the history of Lincoln, I guarantee you he wouldn't be on the pedestal he's on. I promise you. If people knew the truth of Lincoln, that man would not be revered. The things he did, the way he went about doing things was the image, the picture of pure tyranny, the way it was done. I mean, that man was willing to sell out the entire black race to keep the South in the Union so they could keep giving up that tax money to them. That's look up the Corwin Amendment. That would have made slavery a permanent constitutional law, and Lincoln was endorsing it. Just before the war, to try and keep the South in the Union, he tried to bring them back with that amendment, saying, "Hey, accept this amendment and come back to the Union. You can keep your slaves forever." And if slavery was the cause of the South, then they would have accepted that amendment with open arms. Instead, they rejected it outright because they did not. Their cause wasn't slavery. It was to get away from federal taxation, no representation in the government, a whole host of problems. And slavery was in the mix, yes, because some idiots still liked it. But it was dying out. The whole process of slavery was on its way out. It was just being slow. And, it should have been a lot quicker. But if Lincoln's cause was to end slavery and prevent war, then he could have done his emancipation before war ever started.
Okay.
If he was going to be the great freer of the slaves. Instead, he was trying to push an amendment that would have let them be slaves forever. So, I mean, Lincoln's not the shining hero people think he was.
Oh no, no human in this world really is though.
No.
But Jesus, only Jesus.
That was the only one right there.
That's the only one. Everybody got some dirt. Like I tell people, I support some of the stuff that Trump. I mean, I support everything. I support how he talks. But like I tell a lot of black folks, he talks just like us. So
Very
why
true.
are you mad?
Why are we puts mad? It out there. Yeah.
I mean,
like I told Mo, sometimes he says things that just make me scratch my head. I'm like, did you really just say that out loud, dude? But then sometimes he does something. I'm like, well, man, look at you go. So, I mean, he's a mixed bag, and I make it my personal rule to never fully trust any politician ever, because I don't. But with him, he has the more real touch. But I have to always wonder in the back of my mind, is he playing a game to benefit him in the end? What's his angle here? Because he was a businessman before anything else.
Exactly.
He was money in, money out. That man will be a billionaire when he leaves that office. His money ain't gone nowhere.
And that's what I had a conversation at one of the GOP meetings, and this is what I had told them in the meeting, Jennifer. I shared this on one of the. I shared this on the state on one of Mo's.
Hey, Michelle. That's Michelle.
I told them this. I said, either way, both parties are white-owned businesses, and they have money that black folks will never see. All you need to do is, if you're going to vote, you need to vote correctly and not just vote because you see a color, more of your color running around within the party. Because, see, this is how I look at it. Black folks don't support each other on the street, and they damn sure ain't support you when they get in the White House.
Oh shoot! Look at the white. Look at us white folks. We're just as sketchy and a lot of times unsupportive of each other.
Yeah.
The lack of unity everywhere is just it's widespread. As for voting and politicians and political sides, I've people have given me all sorts of flack over it, but I've told I don't vote anymore. Trump in 2016 was my final vote. I'll never cast another one. And people are like, how can you be so un-American? That's your civic duty. I'm like, no, there's no law or mandate that states I have to vote.
I support you no matter what.
But
So,
I spent 18 years voting. When I turned 18, I registered right off the bat. And I voted in, I think it was a 98 election in Texas, I think for a representative. And from then on, I voted, usually Republican down the board. Every now and then I'd throw in an independent for fun. But I would watch every election as the person I voted for either didn't get in or he got in, did nothing. Nothing of what he
Obama.
said he'd do, which is a politician's tradition. They talk a lot
Pretty
of
much.
promises, not a lot of follow through.
yeah.
I took my last chance on Trump in 2016, and when he got it, I said, okay, good for him, but I'm not voting again. I can't,
So Jennifer,
I can't compel myself to do it anymore.
Jennifer, answer this for me.
Sure.
Answer this for me. Okay, so I'm asking you this because I get these questions. So people tell me in the hood and wherever I am, well, you've been, this is them talking to me. You've been dealing with the political atmosphere. I've been getting out there and learning more. They ask me, well, I'd rather not vote. So this is my thing. If black votes didn't matter, why do the Democrats enforce their votes as if they do matter?
Well, you can trace that all the way back to Lyndon Johnson, the successor of Kennedy. Excuse me. As soon as Kennedy was out of the picture, Johnson stepped in. He came up. He was pretty much the father, the creator of the welfare state. And if y'all will forgive me for saying the word, I'm merely quoting what he said. He said,
Say it.
He said, these niggers are getting all kinds of uppity now. We need
Yeah,
to
you said
do
it.
something to tamp down their uppityness. Not enough to really make a change for them, but just enough to make them quiet. And then he said, I'll have these niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Oh,
200 years. That's right shit. Goddamn.
Then came the welfare state, and there was the hook, line, and sinker right there. And the Democrats have relied on that ever since.
Oh, tell boo.
Now the script has flipped, the tables turned, more and more good black people are waking up to that nightmare, and they're saying, okay, well, I'm done with that. Now the Democrats are in pure panic mode, and they're going to the next voter base, who are even more desperate
Girl, I'm in
black
love
folks
with you.
under welfare are, and that is the illegals trying to come in.
Telling the truth.
They realize the blacks are bailing on them.
What was his name
their
again,
ruse is
Jennifer?
up, so now they see the illegals coming.
What was
They're
his
like,
name again?
let's get them in because they'll vote for us.
Goddamn it! Shit.
But the Republicans play the same game, only they play.
Yes, they do.
They play under this veil of patriotism and conservatism to keep their people hooked. Folks, it is two wings of the same bird, and that bird keeps pecking away our liberty. That's why I don't vote.
What was his name
anymore.
again, Jennifer? What was his name again? What was his name again, Jennifer?
Lyndon Johnson.
Lyndon, that's right.
Lyndon B. Johnson. LBJ. That man did more to damage the black community than anyone since Lincoln, honestly.
Yes. I mean,
he caused major collapse. He definitely helped to craft the destruction of the black family unit, because before him, there weren't very many black children born out of wedlock. There were more married couples together. After him and his welfare state, it just took off downhill like a duck in winter, quickly.
Yes.
And it's,
Jennifer, are you on Facebook at all?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, she on Facebook.
Oh, absolutely.
I need her to get on my page.
I'll be happy to accept.
You to come on my page one day. Education is really good for a lot of people, and see a lot of people a lot of black folks, unless they see a black person connected with a white person, they won't listen.
And so I think it's a lot of the same on our side too, unfortunately, and that's why I keep saying if we could drop the paint job and focus on the engine, we could do so much more.
Yes.
I mean, this country could be a force that they cannot tame. And I kind of compare it to France, to the French people, even though their situation's not similar. Much like us, they've had enough with what's going on with them, and they have stood up literally and are now fighting as much as they can to stop what's going with them. I mean, they're doing more to try and fight for their freedom than we've done in decades, because Americans have gotten so comfortable in what that government has given them, whether it be the welfare for those who don't think they deserve any better or don't want any more, or keeping others tethered to some sort of division. It's been the most perfect design for them since they began, to keep us controlled so they can keep getting what they want. The big club, and we're not in it. You and I are not in the big club.
For real.
Mm.
But it's
Real
that club
talk.
they beat you over the head with when
I'm
they want to
loving
tell
it
you
though.
what to
It's
think,
real.
who to vote for, what to think, what to believe. Whew. It's unreal. And I try not to be pessimistic, but I fear it may be almost too late for the people to realize how badly we've been had. Because we've
Oh,
been
we're
had. Our
almost
parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they've all been had. It's just now we're starting to kind of snap out of it and go, whoa, what is this? Wait a minute. Trump, if nothing else, he'll be known as the man who turned the light around and showed us just how bad it is. He may not fulfill any of his other promises. There may not be a wall, and Hillary may not be put in prison. But I'll remember him as the one that turned that spotlight around and said, okay, y'all, here, take a good look, because here it is. Mm-hmm. And I can respect that. I'll admire that.
Yes.
Ain't no other president since Kennedy tried it. I mean, people want to say Barack Obama changed the country. He did. That's the thing. He did what he promised. He promised to fundamentally transform America. What he did not say was for the better or for the worse, but it was for the worse.
No, it was for the worst.
That I ain't never seen any kind of madness until he came on the scene.
All right, sure.
I think there. He just helped bring it up, you know. He brought it up big time.
Mo, send Jennifer to my page. I'm under Rita Wilson.
Okay.
All right. Absolutely.
Hey, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got holler, girl.
We got a what?
We got holler. I love your vlogcast. You real?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love your broadcast, man. You try to keep it as real as you can. That if they don't clamp you down for it. That's where Facebook's gotten so horrible. I mean, God.
Yes.
People could just talk about anything and say what they want, put it out there. And that's the ugly side of government and politics. You know, it spilled over into social media till it became socialist media.
All right.
Now
I think I'm ready, y'all. I think I'm bed. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
All right, Mo. Y'all have a good night.
Bro. Okay, sis.
Hey, Jen, we got holler tomorrow. Okay.
Will do.
Yeah.
You have a good night.
Hey, I love the way you.
You too, Jennifer. I'm gonna look you up
girls,
on Facebook.
Likewise.
All right, holler at me, okay?
All right, y'all.
All right, goodbye.
I see you, girl.
All right.
Mwah.